What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is Strange in the Membrane. We are back live after a little bit of a hiatus. We just had stuff. But, we're back. We're here to talk a whole lot of crap. We're going to talk about what's happening with the CW. We got some things with Daniel Craig, Stan Lee, and even Jared Leto got something to say. And so, as y'all know, it's Strange in the Membrane. We always talk comic books, movies, film, TVs, animation, whatever you have you, what's hot, what's not, who sucks, who soars, and all leave you a little strange in the membrane. As always with me, my right-hand man, Mr. Michael Williams.
What's up, y'all? Back again.
And Mr. Sean Williams couldn't make it this week because he got a little popcorn in his teeth.
A little popcorn.
Popcorn! But in his place, we have my man, Mr. John Costa.
Hey, how you doing?
And John Costa doesn't like Stanley.
Not at all.
That's cool.
We might have a little reminiscence of when we had Maurice Watkins here.
Awesome.
Yo, Maurice was like, hey, he was a copy boy. He didn't do nothing.
Feel free to let loose, John.
Yes.
Feel free.
I had a fight with somebody on Facebook the other day about this because this New York Comic Con is supposed to be his last Comic Con.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, I have to go now because Stan Lee's never going to show up again. I'm like, the dude loves being famous.
Yeah.
He's going to show up like at your doorstep if he doesn't get 5 minutes of fame.
He's going to show up in the afterlife. Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
The Tony Stank.
Yeah.
I mean, but besides that, when this is his last one.
Yeah.
A lot of people are gonna be like about to uncover stuff, and just recently I was telling you I watched Captain America special they had just a week before Civil War came
Cap
out.
75, yeah.
Okay.
And I watched it. Kirby's kids were on there, and like one of his oldest son, he got a little emotional at the end. And characters that were created by him and everything else. Joe Shuster's kids was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought it was great, and the way they talked about the comics and how they loved it and everything else. It was like, damn.
Yeah.
They like, yeah, Dad would have loved it. Whoa! I mean, I felt, I ain't crying, but I just looked at it, I was like, whoa, that was emotional right there,
Yeah.
And Stanley, like, me and Jack used to do everything. Everything was fine. I'm sitting like this.
Yeah.
I am best. But
Sure.
hey, look at us on TV. Hey,
Nice.
glad I got a haircut. We were sitting there like this. What the hell's going on with Jeff's hair? But,
It looks like I'm frozen.
again. But getting to Civil War, I know everybody's probably seen it by now, so I loved it. And I was very glad to meet King T'Challa so he can rip his vibranium claws in your ass. He is not afraid. He doesn't like fighting, but I don't lose fights.
Civil War is amazing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing.
John?
I really liked it. To be honest, though, I don't think it was like that perfect Marvel movie that everybody was saying it was.
Right.
I think there were certain things that, if it were a DC movie, people would have been like shitting on it for the same reason they shit on Batman or Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas because it's a Marvel movie, they like,
Oh,
this is a
the
perfect
ultimate
movie.
praise.
Direction was amazing, cinematography was amazing. Like, there were a couple of things that I was like, okay, you could really get around. If you actually read the comic books, you'd be like, this movie could have been done in 5 minutes because you have two of the smartest characters in Marvel that are being tricked by somebody who supposedly is just like an everyday guy who lost his family. And you're like, if you read the comic books, Iron Man and Black Panther are both part of the Illuminati, like two and number 3 most smartest
Comic
people in
book
Marvel.
Illuminati, so.
Yeah. So like they're behind Mr. Fantastic, they're two of the smartest people, and if they don't figure it out, they just like rage on everybody instead of being like, why not sit back and think about it for a second? Where like Panther, like you would expect him to be in the background more, be like, let me see how it plays out more than anything else, where he's more of the forefront.
True. But I mean, I think let me just say this: Civil War the movie and Civil War the comic books are just like two completely different.
Oh,
But
completely.
yeah, you know, they had to change. They had to.
They have to change
Yeah.
so much of it because one, they don't own everything they need
Yeah.
to do
Again.
something like that, and then two, it's just
Fucks.
you know. That's a good point that you bring up. The Panther is so much in the background in the comics. I think they had to change that in order to get people
Yeah.
on board for Black
And-
Panther
and
movie
mind you now,
eventually.
because of this movie,
Yeah.
Black Panther's new latest comic book is like went platinum for record.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Like
it's like
more than a couple million copies.
Yeah.
It's like so.
I believe it's the number one selling Marvel comic book.
Right,
Like,
yes,
yeah.
right now.
So like it sold out within
Yes.
like the first.
When it came
Okay.
out, because if y'all are avid follower of the podcast, I scared a dude at Midtown. I was like, yo, wait,
Yeah.
where that? And he was like, wait, it's not here yet. I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
but I really wanted it. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, been dying for this. I want to see the technology. He was going on, you know, who's the new Dora Milaje right now? You know,
Yeah.
get out of the way
Yes.
or be moved. I'm like-
Yes.
I'm like, and Panther right there. As much as I'd like to see this, we have to go.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
He was looking like this,
Exactly.
like, I want to see this chick fight. I want some popcorn. I said, "Oh."
Yeah.
But yeah, that character is so important. And you know, how many actors came up to play this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
even heard like he was going like, yeah, we're gonna get Denzel. I was like, oh there. Denzel's a great actor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he's 60 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he doesn't like the gym. So
Yeah.
give him Equalizer 2, let him whoop ass in that movie,
Yeah.
which I think is coming out next year too.
Equalizer 2. Yeah, he's got Magnificent 7 also
Yeah, see, so
coming up. So yeah.
but he ain't really like hurting for a
No.
a Disney Marvel. show.
Yeah, no.
I don't even see him as Black Panther anyway. Like he's a completely different actor
Yeah.
here than Black Panther. Black
Yeah.
Panther
I mean, if
could
he could
be,
do an African accent, maybe I could see
Yeah.
him as King, King T'Chaka.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think they already got rid of that now.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that whole thing? Unless they make it like, oh yeah, he wasn't really your father. King T'Chaka is like
Yeah.
the original Black Panther
Well,
or whatever.
You know what? I gotta be honest. That guy that they cast as T'Chaka was perfect.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I loved him.
Yeah.
That was that. We discovered that was actual Swahili, right?
That was an actual African
Oh.
dialect that they learned.
I think either
He
Swahili or
the
Hausa.
guy that played T'Chaka taught Chadwick Boseman that dialect for the
And
movie.
he just absorbed it. That's where you get that Denzel kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where he just like, I'm in this role, I'm going to do it. And
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Chad,
did you see the clips I played? I had of him where he was visiting theater. At the
yes,
theater.
yes, I did. Yes,
I was like, and you forget that he got a regular voice because like
yes,
the only thing he used his original
Yes.
voice was 42.
yes, yes.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot
As
about
James
that.
Brown,
Yeah.
he was like, Mr. Brown.
Yeah. Chadwick did
No,
better than we could possibly hope.
actually, there's
Really
one
would.
more movie that you're forgetting.
one?
Draft Day. Draft Day. That movie about
That's
the
right, he was
NFL
in that
draft.
too. I
I was actually
forgot
watching that
about
with my
that.
brother
like
the other day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big name actors in that
Yeah.
movie, even though you don't think of it as like
Yeah,
a movie because
yeah.
it started
It's like-
on
it's like
ESPN.
the new
Yeah.
Brat Pack kind of,
Yeah.
bringing all these new phases because everybody that came from that movie has their own careers going.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, Chadwick's only misstep probably so far has been what was that movie that just came out this past year? Gods of Egypt. And I don't even fault him for that.
No.
I didn't even see that movie. I was
He's
like,
in
you
that.
know,
but
I,
see,
Yeah. Precisely.
but then again, you
gods of
kind
Egypt. Egypt. Do you see John? Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay? Egypt.
Didn't mean to offend
It's
you.
not a
John.
small village. It's not a
Not
small village in
Egyptian.
Sweden. It's not a small village in Sweden. Egypt.
Exactly.
Africa.
Exactly.
I will get deeper, but
Yeah.
yeah. But speaking of Marvel movies,
Mhm.
Thor Ragnarok is coming.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, that cast is out of this world too.
yeah, I'm looking at the cast list right now.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett is going to be Hela. Is it Hela or Hela?
I think it's Healer.
Hela, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
the evil bitch.
She's gonna kill
Yeah.
that.
Loki's
because Kate
Loki's
Blanchett is
daughter.
great.
Yeah.
Actually, Loki's daughter, right?
Yeah, I think she's actually controls like their underworld type area.
Mhm.
So let's see, and who else is Kate Blanchett, Jeff Goldblum. I'm like, who's he gonna play?
Mhm.
And play his character from Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. We're gonna...
He's searching for Asgardian tech to beat the aliens.
Hold on. We can send a virus to Ragnarok
Oh,
and
awesome.
prevent it.
Awesome.
he's gonna be Grandmaster.
Is it?
Oh, really?
Grandmaster. Okay, so
Wow.
All right, I can kind of see that because that's a
not
strange.
bad. As long as he's not doing them stupid ass commercials anymore. The apartment thing.
Apartment.com, yeah.
Well, wasn't it one of he was like holding a globe, like he was
Yeah.
like an evil cat, like
Yes,
you know, like
yes.
the apartments,
Yes.
And there was another one where he's actually holding the globe and he actually puts like people on the apartment.
Yeah,
and
and I'm
stuff.
like, okay, God complex.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, that's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
You ever see a South Park episode with him in it?
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, Google it. Definitely
Tessa
some more.
Thompson,
Yeah.
Valkyrie,
Yes.
Okay.
Carl Urban. He's gonna play Scourge, the
Yeah.
executioner.
Nice.
So they got a star-studded cast, and Tom Hiddleston is gonna be back as
Loki.
Loki. Idris Elba, for all you ladies out there, yes, he's coming back as Heimdall. He's got those big fake brown eyes and look into your panties from space. So just be, cautious of that.
Yeah.
And Mike's favorite guy, Kevin Feige, says the continuation of the epic Thor franchise will be powerful and unique. With the additions of Kate, Jeff, and Tessa, Carl, and Mark, we have the makings of his most dangerous and heroic adventure yet.
Nice.
November 3rd, 2017. We'll
All
be
right.
looking for that.
Let me ask you guys something.
What's
Do you
that?
think they're setting up with the Hulk, World War Hulk,
I
or
think
Planet
so.
Hulk?
I think so when they need to.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
The whole thing that I heard, this is just a rumor that I heard on comicbooks.com, that for after Infinity Wars, the Defenders are already set up and everything.
Mhm.
And after Infinity Wars, they are actually arrested and they're being defended by She-Hulk.
ha!
That's what one of the biggest rumors that I've heard so far. So I'm thinking that they have to set up either World War Hulk or even Agents of Smash because they have that on Disney. Which and they also just brought in General Ross with Civil War.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they have everybody except for
Yeah, I
Scar.
was like, that
Scar
was
and
a-
A-Bomb.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
They need to go ahead and do that because I mean they've been playing with this for long enough, and like I think World War Hulk was it was Planet Hulk. That was the best animation Marvel's done so far.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, right there with the Punisher Black Widow thing, which was very good, but that
Mm-hmm.
was mostly anime.
Yes.
But as far as like American-made animation, Planet Hulk was like the greatest. And I'm like, continue on that path. Like, why you can't do a decent animation?
Yeah. True. True.
Yeah. And
You
there,
got Disney. You got them dudes in there. Like,
Oh, come on.
okay, this
You know, Disney's got stuff probably up their sleeves for years to come, and they're not announcing anything.
Yeah, they
Like
probably-
I can see a Pixar Marvel crossover,
well,
easily.
They already did Big Hero 6. Big Hero
Yeah,
6
Big
was
Hero 6
Marvel.
was-
but I mean a bigger one than Big Hero 6.
I really
You know
think
what
they
I
got
mean?
those dudes chained to the desk like this. Keep dying.
Exactly.
dying, master. I'm
Exactly.
See, the main thing that I like about Disney taking over Marvel is
Mm.
they're taking a lot of obscure comic books and making them huge.
No,
Yeah.
Because like
absolutely.
Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody had any clue of Guardians of the Galaxy. I know people that have number ones and they're like, yeah, I bought that for 50 cents 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And, a lot of the old school heads that I run into, guys are like, oh man, where's Vance Astro? Where's Charlie 27? And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but they, Marvel changes when they feel like it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
they just like saying, okay, let's get rid of that thing-looking guy, the guy covered in the diamond rocks, and Vance Astro, the 1,000-year-old astronaut. Yeah, let's send him back
Yeah.
to the New Warriors. And by the way, New Warriors, Night Thrasher is alive.
Really? They
And
keep
guess
getting
why?
Why?
In the midst of that explosion, here comes the Collector and snatches them out last
Okay.
second. So I was like, Oh, okay. I was like, because I'm like, you should have never killed him off anyway, and put him in there with his dumbass brother, was it Bandit, Rogue, whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
But I just like Night Thrasher was like, you identified with him a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
Take notice, Mark.
Staying in the Marvel area and picking back on what John was just talking about, like this whole like rumor of building out the universe.
Mhm.
Did you see that thing I posted in the group about this guy being possibly in Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh,
Yeah.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
Kingpin.
I saw that and I was like, now they're gonna use.
They're talking
D'Onofrio.
about D'Onofrio.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
he's a good actor.
Yeah.
They already established him in both
Mhm.
seasons of Daredevil, and
Mhm.
like they made sure that he was there. Spoiler alert, sorry, but you know if you didn't see it by now, then
Hey.
you know it's your own
Hey.
fault.
Hey.
But yeah, so I think he was, to be honest, in the first season of Daredevil.
Mhm.
Before him, it was kind of boring at times. He kind of made it interesting. Like episode 4, season 1, was really when you started getting
Yeah.
interested in Daredevil, because
Absolutely.
the first couple episodes, it was too much like just like any action movie. There wasn't any background with Daredevil or anything. Like he didn't have the suit. He didn't really. The
Yeah.
only thing was that he was blind and his dad died, and then he did the
Yeah.
chemical thing.
Yeah.
But you're like,
Damn, John.
well, you know,
I
like
know you're right. I agree with you, but just
Yeah, because I will admit
Yeah.
the beginning of Daredevil is slow. That
Yeah.
first season, the first part is slow.
don't get me wrong, I love that fight
Right.
scene right in the center.
Right.
Yeah.
But like he's supposed to be a stunt guy, and you can see he's pulling punches when they're really close to him.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, if you're a stunt guy, you know
Mm.
you have your stunt guys there too.
Mm,
So
mm.
use them. Like you
Mm.
literally have to touch their face. Like you have to wrestle them. Like be WWE style wrestling.
yeah.
And you can't be pulling
Which that's
punches
what
like
they
4 or
are,
5
is
inches
stuntmen.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then it kind of takes you out of that whole
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
where you're like, all right, you're pulling punches on me. Like you know this is for adults now.
Yeah.
It's not for kids. Like you can do it when it's little kids, but as adults, you're like, all right, I want to see you hit somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the thing like with animation. I remember as growing up, like I remember when, you know, like the 1967 Filmation ones, you know, with the Superman, Aquaman hour, and then it came with Batman and everything else.
Yeah.
You were seeing punches and everything else. And then as a kid, here comes Super Friends. Everybody wants to think.
Mm.
Mhm.
No, that is Batman and Robin's specialty. They punch people in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Only one that was punching stuff was Superman. I'll stop them. You know,
Exactly.
punching boulders, and they're like, "Why? Okay, why are there boulders in every damn episode?"
Yeah, yeah.
Wonder Woman throwing lassos, choking people, or whatever.
Mhm.
Aquaman just, you know, go out there. I can do my part. Splash. Using his Atlantean telepathy, Aquaman talks to the fish and makes them do something. Like, okay, we got that. Punch somebody. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of like the Hanna-Barbera super thing, like
Yeah.
the Mongoloids and like all the same thing.
Mhm.
It was them talking over them doing stuff, and then the boulders. That's all it was.
Mhm.
That's true. And then came
That's
90,
true.
Then came 90s Batman with my man Kevin Conroy, and I was like, oh, thank you.
Yes.
We're back to punching people in the
Yes.
face. now.
90s Batman, 90s Spider-Man,
Yeah.
90s X-Men,
Yeah.
even Superman, which is kind of like a watered down version of Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
But you do know if you let this guy into Spider-Man Homecoming, that opens up the floodgates to let everybody in the Netflix world into these movies.
Oh, of course.
And then it puts all the pressure on Warner Brothers, like we've been talking about,
So being that
to
they probably
consider their people.
won't, so they probably won't go to Netflix or Hulu. Expect a deal on your doorstep. Expect some kind of proposal coming soon.
Exactly.
I don't know. Young
Exactly.
Justice might get to season 3 from Netflix.
Yeah.
I want that. Like, come on, you can't
Yeah.
leave Wally in the Speed Force like that on me. Like that. Yo, so
You
much.
see why I got him here?
you can't just introduce everybody in season 2 and be like, hey, we have Nightwing, awesome. We have Superboy grown up, awesome. Hey, look, Wally's coming back, and you have like the entire Flash family, and
Exactly.
end.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
This is exactly what I've been looking for since
that
I'm
whole
little.
thing still messed me up when like Nightwing. I mean, when he goes away, Robin comes back, Nightwing, and like, okay, where did we miss? What?
Mm. Mhm.
They missed the whole actual Teen Titans. Like the whole reason he went to Teen Titans.
You know, and poor Tim Drake, he seemed like he's just been excluded everywhere.
Mhm.
'Cause,
No.
like, now that they're supposed to be bringing back, well, I'm getting ahead of it. I'm going in the comics. They're doing the Teen Titans over again, and
Mhm.
Damien's actually joined, and the new Black Wally West is coming.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
also Tim Drake took over as Batman Beyond. That's why. You know, when Batman Beyond came back
Mhm.
during that right before Convergence, they had
Oh,
him come
okay.
back, and they killed off what's his face who played Batman Beyond.
McGinnis.
Yeah, they killed him off, and Terry and Drake took the suit and went back to his time. Now for the Rebirth,
The Rebirth.
they're not telling us who is Batman Beyond. It could still be Terry. It could be Tim Drake. I have my theories that they're going to bring back Terry, and then they're going to have Red Robin in both versions because they want to bring back the whole universe. Jeff John's actually doing a great job, in my opinion, to try and reel everybody back in because everybody was too much going on at one time.
That is until they reboot it again.
Well, you know, there's a reason why they made him take control over everything because
Rebirth is this month, right?
actually.
I mean, no, in June, I think.
No,
No, it
I think
starts Tuesday.
Oh.
Tuesday or Wednesday. They're
Yeah.
doing
Having a midnight launch somewhere.
yeah, in
For it.
Midtown Comic Books, and like every comic book store is having
Yes, Jeff, it's
Yes.
that serious.
Jeff Johns is actually going to Midtown Comic Books, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's signing.
Yeah, look at Jeff Johns, guy.
Hey, you know what?
Stan.
Just got a promotion and he's just
Hi, how you doing?
he's gonna
I'll sign
kill
your
it.
book.
He's gonna kill it now, huh?
Hey, that's what I think so. You know, hopefully he
Yeah.
brings Grant Gustin into the cinematic
Listen,
universe.
listen, if Jeff Johns does that, I will be a fan of his for life.
Yes, because I swear, I mean, I don't mean to keep picking on that guy, but he looks too effeminate to me to be.
I absolutely agree.
No, what kills me is he could have played it if the one thing that pissed me off was every other character who was in the Justice League in their files adapted to their character. He was one person that's like, no, I'm going to be exactly who I am and be Barry Allen. It's like, Barry Allen is nothing like you, and everybody's seen you in like 50 different things.
Yes.
Be Barry Allen or step aside and let Greg
I
Gustin be Barry Allen because he is
completely
Barry Allen
agree.
to everybody else.
Because that whole scene in, where the Luthor's files and everything else,
Yes.
and he's in the store going to steal milk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
Barry
and
wouldn't
the
do
way
that.
he was dressing, like he just came from a band practice or something like that. Like,
yes.
this is Flash. Like,
For those of you that follow our Facebook group, I just posted an article in there about how Tom Cavanaugh, who's on The Flash, who stars as Harrison Wells,
Mhm,
has basically just told you why Grant Gustin needs to be in the movies.
mhm.
He absolutely needs to be in the movie.
Yeah, my biggest thing too is like it would be like if they said they were going to do an Arrow movie and
Yes.
they didn't put Stephen Amell.
Yes.
Everybody would be up in arms on that as
Yes.
well. You can't establish a character and then be like, yeah, for the movies we're just
Yes.
going to screw all our fans.
To me, Grant Gustin is Barry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He is.
embodies it. He plays the part to the hilt.
Yes.
And you also already adapted. You've already gone through so much with him.
Yes.
You don't want to have to do that again with a new character.
Thank you. And by the time we get to a Flash movie, he will have grown more as Barry Allen on the show,
Mhm.
and he will have grown more into Barry Allen's body for that particular movie.
Yeah.
Well, they even said when they casted him, everybody was like, "Oh, he's too young to play Barry."
Yeah.
That's why they made it. They specifically said, "Oh yeah, we did it 5 years earlier than they were supposed to,"
Yep.
and that establishes their universe. Like
Yep.
that one line changes the entire view with
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. I mean, I believe exactly. I believe Grant Gustin in everything he does on that show. There's
Oh,
not
yeah.
been a moment on that show where I did not believe he was Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
It was like even with the crossover episode with
Yes.
Yeah.
Supergirl, I was like,
Exactly.
I watched the first episode. I mean, I haven't followed it. I mean, I catch it every now and then, but
Yes.
it hasn't grabbed me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Maybe now that it's going to be on the CW,
Yeah.
and you got the whole
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the Supergirl crossover, yeah, and I'll admit, and people will say, yeah, it's a lot of fan service. Yeah, it is. But I absolutely believe him as Barry Allen in the fan service with her. Absolutely.
And you know what?
You know what I mean?
They're doing a lot of fan service with everything.
Oh, well, of course.
Like you can't be like, oh, I'm picking on that. Like the thing that, like I would catch Supergirl periodically. I didn't follow it every week. Like I did Arrow and I did Flash. But like with the first couple weeks, it was very hokey, very reminiscent of Lois and Clark of the 90s. And that's what kind of, and to be honest, like they actually had Dean Cain play her father. And they had Supergirl play their mother. Like I understand they're trying to pay homage to that.
Absolutely.
And I think when they come over to the CW, they'll prevent a lot of that because the whole reason they came back to CW is because CBS was getting charged $10,000 an episode to have the rights to it.
Right.
You know, so now they can put that into production.
Yeah. Definitely.
Big shout out to my man Anthony Anderson, who's checking in with us right now. He just like put a big old right on the face.
You know.
And Shamel, we ain't forget you too. My man Shamel is probably watching right now.
Hey, Shamel, hey.
What you got next here?
Oh, guess what Jared Leto said about playing the Joker?
What'd he say? Loves it?
The best fun he's ever had in his life.
I believe it. I just hope he doesn't go crazy over it.
Yeah, just no Oxycontin.
Well,
None.
did you read what they did on the set for him?
What's that?
They specifically hired a psychologist to be on set with him.
Yeah.
Good.
Because when Heath Ledger took over, Jack Nicholson went to him and told him, do not play this part because it will mess you up. And he locked himself in his room, in his hotel room for a week, and he drove himself nuts to play one of the best Jokers I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, I agree.
Like, I'm still confused at how Mark Hamill is so happy-go-lucky playing the Joker for, 20 years now?
Because he's got Star Wars money.
But still, Heath Ledger had money, too.
I know.
His wife was probably a bigger actor than he was at that point.
That's true.
Yeah,
sure.
So I think I'm still confused at how Mark Hamill can compartmentalize the Joker for himself.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of actors, they say that, when they play these certain parts, they got to like decompress. I remember LL Cool J said when he played the character God in Too Deep, he said he went immediately back home after playing that part, and then he realized he was talking to his kids kind of crazy, so he went somewhere else and locked himself in a hotel room for a week to decompress that whole part out of him.
Yeah, I could imagine that they would hire some type of psychologist or something, because from everything that I've heard, he basically was in Joker character throughout the filming.
He said he never stepped out of character like the entire time.
Yeah, so
I'm like,
okay.
I think they even said,
"Oh yeah, I want to be."
Yeah, I can see it.
I think they even had to keep him separate from Ben Affleck while he was playing the Batman because they didn't know what was going to happen because he was keeping. To be honest, I would do the same thing, especially if you're paying Ben Affleck to be Batman for the next 10 movies.
I can see it now. He probably would have been messing with calling him Matt Murdock or something.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I think it would have gotten worse.
You're Matt Murdock. Whatever.
He would have started putting shit in his food and like making him a smile with it.
Yeah, I'm real interested in seeing his interpretation of Joker. I thought it was too soon to do the Joker after the way Ledger just absolutely murdered it, but from everything that I've seen so far of Leto, he's
doing it.
He's killing it. He's killing it.
There's a picture that I have on my phone that it shows like all the different faces that they shown in the trailer, and then it also shows every version of comic version. Grant Morrison's version, like he does it like perfect. Grant Miller's Joker from Batman Returns, like they even exactly. And I was like, okay, this might be something that will keep us going back to see the Joker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but staying in DC. And just to shut Sean up. Popcorn! I ain't gonna tell him about the job he got. Anyway. I found this about because my original beef was like, why didn't he do Independence Day? He's ready to do play Deadshot.
Yeah.
Just that turns out that he got the script while he was doing After Earth.
Uh,
Exactly. And they said for a while they were close to losing hope. Emmerich and those around him believed in the scripts, and like he had the script for like a year. And he like when he read the script, went back and read it again, and then they said they kept changing the story, and it took a couple of years until I could replace Will as not just one actor but a whole generation, which is probably the breakthrough, which is happening roughly 2 years ago.
Okay.
So after a while, it was just like, you know what? I don't know if I want him in there. I thought originally like Will was like, getting too big for his britches. And then you had the whole Jada thing with her with the Oscars. And I'm like.
So this was more of a studio decision that they didn't want him?
Yeah. They just like after a while, it's like, because he was excited to do it. But he, the 2 years, 2 scripts and doing After Earth, they wanted to make it like a trilogy.
Okay.
So like they was expecting like a third Independence Day to come again. So I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm like, this is the movie that said America, here's Will Smith. Not Fresh Prince. Not Made in America. Not all the other little stuff he was doing. Yeah. When Independence Day dropped, it was like, oh, Will can act.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see Independence Day resurgence, but I have a feeling that movie's going to suffer from being how many years too late now?
When you got a movie like that, I think the most you should wait is 5 years.
Yeah. You can't wait 10, 15 years to do a sequel because
music,
that audience has moved on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, music and movies and the generational change is usually between 5 and 10 years.
Yeah.
So like, unless you really got that diehard fan base, they're like, I'm not interested no more.
Yeah.
The thing about Independence Day when it first came out, the CGI and the technology was like cutting edge. Now it's kind of hokey, and they're kind of trying to show the same type of alien spaceships and stuff like that. So people won't be into it as much as they were in the 90s. And also, like, it's a different generation. Like, we're not as like pro America all the time, 24/7. Like, we could destroy everybody. Now we're more like, we're fighting amongst yourselves. So what would make us decide to go up against aliens? I think half of us would be like, yeah, go take my neighbor. Go have fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's rare that you catch lightning in a bottle. Like, Jurassic World is an exception to the rule that catches lightning in a bottle 2 times. Because Jurassic World is basically a remake of the first movie, just at a bigger scale.
Well, they completely got rid of the second and third movie when they made Jurassic World.
Yeah, they retconned everything.
Yeah, they're like, forget about those.
Looking at the alpha, baby.
Absolutely.
Forget about like us money grabbing for the next 2 movies. We're gonna money grab for this movie now.
Absolutely. I mean, for Jurassic series, you can watch the first one and this most recent one last year, and you are good. Trust me, you are.
Especially with Sam Jackson, that damn cigarette hanging off his mouth that he never smoked.
Exactly.
The whole time he just got the thing flipping in his mouth, and it's like
Newman getting spit in the face by something that doesn't spit.
Like, you stupid little thing, and then the little safe falls out and just mob him. I'm like, big shout out to Antonio Pomares for checking out what he just shared the post, and he was actually gonna try to come down, but his job, he ain't got that shackle on his leg. And,
Nice. Nice.
And also shout out to Mr. Brian Hawkins from Gnosis Comics. He was scheduled to talk to us about his new comic book, Kingdom. Let me check my messages. He's probably like, "You're messing me up, Jeff."
Damn kids.
Yeah, America's Kingdom. I'm sorry, but he's he couldn't make it to call in to us because right now he's having his glasses remade, and one of his little students was stealing his glasses. The one from the chess club.
Handle your business, sir. We will be here.
And if you want to, we can handle. I love to punch the kids. No, but I never like bad children. You know, that's why all my nephews would be like this. Hey, Hunk, how you doing? But yeah, I mean, I really hope they get this thing going. Leave Grant Gustin in, please.
Yeah.
Stop doing all the other stuff. I mean, like I remember we was talking about like, you know, how things have progressed from then to today. Like if you go and look on YouTube, Reb Brown as Captain America. God,
yeah.
Now, Reb Brown was like a football player, but he did have the Captain America blonde look, you know, but he was more bulkier. And him with that tight spandex suit and the motorcycle helmet, and the red, white, and blue bike that just bust out the back of the van all the time. It was like, okay, yeah. And they made up some stupid retcon story like his father was actually Captain America during the war, and they gave him the serum, and now he's jumping 30 feet in the air and all this kind of mess. Like, okay, all right. With the clear shield.
It was all we had when we were young.
Well, even the 90s Flash with Barry Allen's father from the new Flash
but
show.
At least he looked.
Yeah, he looked it.
Diesel like,
but look at that suit now.
Yeah.
That thing is so plastic. It's like
looks like
plastic with a felt over it.
Yes.
It's really weird.
That toy with the kids, they squirt it out and mush it into stuff.
Play-Doh?
No, not Play-Doh. It's like some other like
the slime, the Nickelodeon
it's something
slime.
like foamy, like little beads, and then that's what that costume looks like to me.
Yeah.
But what we was talking about the Doctor Strange movie.
Yes.
Can't wait to see that.
The original Doctor Strange TV movie had a little old Asian guy in some shop, didn't even do all this training, they just gave him stuff. And Doctor Strange is like a Jewish pimp. For real, he got this purple suit with the flowing robe and like 3-4, you know, old school Reverend Al Sharpton, Al Sharpton.
Yes.
Those kind of chains.
Yes.
And like, hey, what you gonna get my bitches over here? That's what I'm talking about. And he just look at Jewish pimp. I'm sorry.
Wow.
What else was another one? Like,
Challenge of the Superheroes. We talk about that all the time.
Challenge of the Superheroes. Oh my God.
I remember being just so wholly excited to see that
Just
when
to
I was
see
a
it.
kid.
I mean, even like when they did the adventure part of it, the Flash was like this.
Yes.
And they just did a little red blur and he was gone. And I was like, really? And Black Canary had the actual Lance's mask on.
And that was like a primetime event on NBC.
For 2 weekends.
Yes.
The first was the adventure, and the next week was the roast. The roast was just hilarious. A Hawkman with the wings that couldn't do nothing with his wings. He just Burt Ward and Adam West. I mean, I couldn't even remember my name. They was in there on the roast. You know, Adam West still with this. He's the only superhero I know that crossed his arms with his hands on his shoulders, like don't look at my nipples. You know, like,
yeah.
Hey, you know, it affected George Clooney, so I understand why he did it.
That's why we have him on.
Exactly.
What else was there? Oh, the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man with the one web shooter and the utility belt.
Yes.
And the thyroid, goggles.
Yes. Yes.
Like climbing up the wall like this.
Yeah.
On the string, and and what was it? The Hulk movie, like Hulk, it was good for what it is. It's currently right now on MeTV on Saturdays.
Yeah. Lou Ferrigno, one of the greats. Still looks the same. Like,
still big dude.
Little fun fact: my grandfather's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that out like right before my my grandmother passed away. She's like, "Yeah, Groot Ferrigno's your grandfather's cousin." I was like, "That's weird. Did anybody ever meet him?" No.
Can you bring me a T-shirt or something?
Yeah. If I get his autograph, maybe go on the set or something.
Give me some eBay money or something.
If you're watching, call me.
Can I get a walk-on role?
Exactly.
Just can I cross the street and does that?
Even if you take me to Disney with you, come on, man. There's something.
Exactly.
He could have even had you on an episode of King of Queens or something like that.
Hey, you have me on an episode of Age of the Seal. They're pretty sure you could get me pulled on that. I'm pretty sure I can act better than half of those people anyway.
With Fitz and Simmons and shit. What else was there? Oh, the Hulk TV movies. Daredevil was just a straight black suit with a blindfold and Thor was just like an old drunk Viking. Or something.
Yep.
With his, and the thing that killed me was the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
The hammer, like, dude, this is like a carpenter's hammer.
Yeah.
Like a little rock. I'm like, that's supposed to be Mjolnir?
Yeah.
Nah, I like the wings. The wings are like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like they're huge.
Crazy huge.
Yeah.
Had the Flavor Flav Viking helmet on.
Crazy.
Oh, you want to talk about your man Daniel Craig that said no?
Hey, he has nothing to apologize for with those movies.
Daniel
Nothing
Craig
to
says,
apologize
I'm
for.
done. Keep your check. I'm good.
Yeah. Those movies take a lot to make, and I understand why he doesn't want to do it anymore. Because he damn near killed himself on this last one.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad that they're gonna bring back, start recasting it for James Bond. Because to be honest, I would like to see Idris Elba as James Bond.
Yeah.
You know, they could make it as it's not just one person. It's actually like a code name for spies that they give over the years.
I completely agree.
People are like up in arms, like, oh, you know, you're doing this, you're doing that. I'm like, who cares? As long as they play it well, I don't give a shit. What color you are, what race you are, what gender you are. As long as you play it well enough that I can get involved, like get into the show or
and
the
then
movie,
you can believe that he is what he is. Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. I mean, Daniel Craig made 4 good Bond movies.
Yeah.
Probably the two best of those 4 are by far Casino Royale and Skyfall.
Definitely.
By far. You know, so hey, more power to him. You know, people didn't like the casting initially. I thought it was brilliant casting because I'd seen a movie he'd done before that where he was basically playing James Bond, and that was a movie called Layer Cake.
Oh.
He's playing like a James Bond guy who was like a drug dealer, but whatever. He's a really good actor, and 4 movies, you can't ask anything more. You cannot.
What was that people were so used to Connery James Bond, where they went back. Yeah, they went back to the book James Bond with Daniel Craig a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem. People don't want to read. Like it comes with comic books, comes with books, comes with everything.
Yes.
And that's why, like, I get up in arms with certain things. I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna be basing something off of something else, at least give us, like, people who have supported you guys over the years. At least give us something where, like, all right, it's different, but at least I can adapt it from my own personal knowledge.
I agree. Well, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you about the rumor of who they actually kind of are looking really hard at to replace him. Tom Hiddleston. Guy who plays Loki.
Really?
That's the huge rumor right now. What do you think?
I can see it.
I could see it too, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
because I really like him as an actor, not just as Loki. Like,
he's
I see
a good
him in
actor.
other things.
He's a really good actor.
And if you see him, like, you can tell he loves to do the parts that he chooses.
Yes.
And he gets into it 1,000%.
Yes.
As long as, like, he's not phoning it in, or not trying to be somebody else's James Bond, I think he'll be perfect.
Absolutely. I think you can teach him the physical stuff so that he can get by. But right now, he's got the very suave side to play.
Yeah.
He does.
I mean, they could probably give him like a smoother kind of martial art to look, to be finesse with it, like, probably
Absolutely.
Like maybe some Savate, which is the French martial art, or something like
Krav Maga, with the Israeli martial art, which
Yeah.
is more like dancing than actual martial arts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we ain't talking capoeira or nothing like that.
No,
But I mean, like something smooth, like, I mean, you could even take it back to Fist of the White Lotus, with that paper kung fu.
Oh, absolutely. He's probably gonna have to put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah, to get the muscles that show.
But other than that, I can completely see him in a tux. I can completely see him with a cigarette in his mouth. I can completely see him ordering that drink and uttering the line.
Well, just think about the scene from the Avengers. The scene from the Avengers when they're in the German museum.
Yes.
Come on, you don't see a little hints of James Bond in that?
Of course.
Like, he's very smooth. He just walks over, tosses the guy onto the slab, and just stabs him in the eye.
Of course.
That's exactly what James Bond would do.
Of course.
because he didn't get slammed around when he tried to tell Hulk.
Yeah.
That was just, I still love that scene.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I'd love to see Idris Elba, I don't think he's going to be able to do it because he's doing that Stephen King thing, and that's a commitment. The Dark Tower series.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's going to be wrapped up in that for a while. So I don't know.
He's got to do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be Idris, unless he decides to do both.
He probably could, but
yeah.
Well, he did say this would be his last Marvel movie playing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so he to be honest, I don't think he even wanted to go this far because he's kind of getting upset with Marvel for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's like that's the one thing that I hear from like all the actors is that they either love it all the time or they're like after a couple movies they're like, all right, I'm done with this. It's too much like our way or the highway.
Yeah, because it's like what we said. Chris Evans says like after whatever, if they don't, when his contract is up, he's done.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to get into directing. Thor, his wife is actually trying to force him towards directing, so he's almost done. Who else? Robert Downey Jr. He keeps saying he's done, but then he keeps signing out for another movie because they're throwing money at him. And he does. Yeah. But that's why they're establishing so many characters out there. See, I'm more intrigued about what they're gonna do. Spoiler alert for Civil War if you haven't seen it. Once again, your own fault. It's been out for like a month now. Come on, you guys gotta see it. I'm surprised. I want to see what they're gonna do with the Secret Avengers and Infinity War. Because that's what they set up. The Secret Avengers. I think Iron Man is gonna have his own team because they said there's gonna be completely new Marvel characters that nobody's seen, and they already established that there's thousands from Captain America to Winter Soldier because they were trying to kill all the people who have that gene in them. So I'm kind of want to see what's gonna happen. Like I want to see Iron Man like usually mess up, which Iron Man is the whole reason that everything happens.
I want to see drunk Iron Man. I want to see that drunk, like give him the whole Iron Man where he he drinks himself, falls, the whole thing that Rhodey has a War Machine outfit to begin with. That's when he was just drinking and he just fell apart and he was like, all right, you gotta go get those guys. Kick some man in his ass. You guys gotta go do them. You know what, Rhodey? You're a good guy. I always liked you. That's where you were, buddy.
To be honest, I want to see them develop Scarlet Witch's powers too. She's one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe.
That was the reason I wanted Molly on here, because we were talking about that. And Takia, you need to come back too. Miss Takia Marie, big shout out to her.
Let me find out that that she's read House of M.
Yeah,
she has.
She told me that. I was like,
wow.
Like she's more into the comic books. I mean, she's getting into the movies and everything else, but she's more into the comic books than she did see.
Can we get Molly and John back on it?
Yeah, why not? I wanted John Hill for a long time, but his schedule wouldn't permit him because they had him working all the damn time.
John, you are welcome anytime your schedule permits.
Well, now I'm not working Saturday, so I'll come as many times as
he hasn't been around those nasty girls or anything like that.
Yeah, so what did she think? What did Molly think of House of M?
She said she liked it. It was like really entertaining, and she liked all the different aspects of like what was going on with like why the mutants are over here with this and with the way the whole Genosha. Like she just said, I dug it all. Wow. You see, when we find,
cool.
in the comic book world, like, it used to be you go into Midtown Comic Books and you see a chicken and you go,
yeah.
To be honest,
what you doing here? Now?
To be honest, now actually a lot of my friends, I'm friends with a lot of people in the cosplay community because that happened by accident, but I became friends with people in cosplay, and I became really close with a lot of these people.
Yeah.
And I can sit and have conversations with the girls more than I can the guys, because the guys, I feel like a lot of guys now, because there's a lot of nerdy girls that are attractive, like the anthologies for like $70, and then just sit by and read it, and they're like, but what do you think about this? And the anthologies don't have like the crossovers or like the things that like people sit back and talk about. and they don't know. But you talk to the girls, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been reading that since I'm little. I like this. I like that." They'll have more opinion about it, and it'll go into a better conversation.
Yes,
because they see it differently than we do as guys.
When you mentioned Black Widow, it just made me think of something I saw. It was on Entertainment Tonight or one of the about the possibility of a Black Widow movie, and they said that they didn't want to do that because female toys don't sell.
Well, that's the reason why Young Justice got canceled in the first place, because it was showing too much to the female audience, and females don't buy toys. Boys do. I'm like, you know what? If you have a good product, people will buy.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? The more people you have underneath this tent, the better it is.
Exactly. And you know what?
Simple.
You can't pigeonhole just like lonely guys into reading comic books. Yes, that's the whole reason I started, because like I know it was something that like that nerdy guy gets powers, like everything is like that. The nerdy guy gets powers, and they wind up he winds up controlling his own destiny.
Yeah.
But the women are more inept in these comic books. Like I actually bought like I was like reading through like the comic books, like the back issues, and I bought The Death of Sue Storm. Where like Sue Storm comes back from the future and she actually sees herself die. That was more emotional than seeing a lot of the male characters die, because you're like, all right, the male is going to come back. Sue Storm might not come back.
Absolutely.
Like, because they might choose a different person to take over as that character or something that nature.
Because I thought like, when that happened, I thought like, okay, Franklin's going to lose his cool, and being that he's already like deemed to be a young god anyway, he might just recreate her in some kind of crazy image. And they needed. There's going to be another Fantastic Four movie.
Is there? For
I heard about that.
They said they're going to make another.
Yeah, they confirmed it.
They wait until the rights almost run out, and then they're going to do it again.
Of course, because they don't want Marvel to have it. That's why.
What I think they're doing right now is probably a negotiation tactic, because Spider-Man.
I would agree.
Spider-Man got a lot back from Marvel. Yeah. Like they get all the proceeds from the individual Spider-Man movies, plus they get access to the entire Marvel universe. I don't think with Fantastic Four, because they bombed so bad, they won't negotiate as well.
Bombed so bad it killed the comic book.
But I think ultimately that's what you're going to have to do. Everyone's going to have to start playing ball with Marvel.
Oh yeah.
If they want to make money, that's what they're going to have to do.
They got the ball rolling now. It's a lot of money on the table. They got to play ball.
They're also saying possibility of Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, we talked about that a while ago. Yeah,
I would love that, to be honest.
I was telling my wife about this, and she was like, because she learned a lot of her comic stuff through me.
Yeah,
because she was like, okay, wait a minute, Civil War, Scarlet Witch, why only X-Men? Now it's Quicksilver. Aren't they brother and sister? And I'm like, yeah. I said, but over here he's a mutant. Over here she's an oddity of nature.
A miracle.
She's inhuman.
In the movie, a miracle or an inhuman.
Well, yeah, the whole thing with the staff, what people really didn't understand was that because they have to say a lot of people died during the experiment. They were the only two that survived. You had to have the inhuman gene in you to be able to survive that experiment. They were the only two that were able to do it. So that's why people are like, oh, why do they have powers? I'm like, because they actually killed off a lot of people you didn't see. They just kind of made it a throwaway line that people just didn't pay attention to.
Yes.
Oh, but I'm looking at one good thing here on comicbook.com. Marvel is looking at filming part of Black Panther in Africa. Yes, they are going to Africa to shoot the movie.
The motherland.
Hey, as long as they're not talking to a Nigerian prince that if they give him $10,000, they'll give him $1 million. It's like, as long as they're not doing that, I'm good with it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you give me this money, I can make sure you will get 10 times the amount.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How, what?
Yeah.
Then they're going to have you on Dr. Phil. We're like, do you not get it?
No scams.
No, it doesn't exist, man.
No scams here. No.
That always cracks me up because I'm like,
how many people got? A lot of people got
taken
by
and
that.
They're always
too.
on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil's like this, like, well, I had my crack team investigate it, and he doesn't exist, man. He said they have programs. Let me show you. And then he goes to the big board and he starts drawing and everything else, and the way the letters are, the way the letter reads, and like, I was on my way to Africa, and then I got stopped because I didn't pay a hospital bill. So they arrested me, and I'm going. I have $75,000 to give you, but I need $1,000 to get out of jail here.
Yeah.
How the hell you got $75,000?
Yeah.
And you can't get out because you got to owe this $1,000 hospital
Yeah,
bill.
exactly.
Well, you know, he got his arm chopped off in Age of Ultron, so you know that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like I was just like, oh, did you fall for that? Oh. But guess what's coming tomorrow?
What?
Preacher.
Oh yeah.
And if you go to comicsology.com, they're giving away the free first comic book. You know, the first, whole
Digital issue?
The graphic novel?
The time of the preacher.
Yeah, okay.
And I was reading that again on the way here, and I was like, damn, I really forgot how good this comic was.
Mm-hmm.
And like it even like you see Cassidy catch a bullet side the head, and he just keeps going.
Yeah.
One of the Seraphim angels comes in, Blanco, and what's the name? No, is it Blanco or Blanco? One of the two other hosts of angels that was arguing it, and man, go wake up to Saint the Killers. Me? I gotta wake him up. I didn't, that's why I go down there and wake him up.
Yeah.
And as soon as he's like, Saint the Killers, you are called forth. Wow. Like, and he's sitting there holding the eye, brains out the back of his head, still talking. And I'm like, that's right, kill it, bullet. And which made me started thinking of Lucifer.
Yes.
Can't we?
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
But Preachers tomorrow at 10
On AMC.
Yeah, on AMC. There's gonna be like some little teaser, like about 7 something or 8 o'clock or whatever. Because when you set the DVR to say like catch all new episodes, and I'm scrolling through, and I said like, there was like a little preview that's like 5 minutes, somewhere between either Fear of Walking Dead or just Walking Dead, one of them, somewhere in between. It's like they do an all day marathon.
Yeah.
And right in there, and I see like, oh, okay. And I saw that being recorded too. So I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely watch it the next day because it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Gotta stay up on that, or else the internet will spoil it for me like a day later. If I don't watch it by like noon the next day, then I am screwed because every spoiler alert is out on Facebook.
Yes.
Even if my friends are like, "Oh, we won't give spoilers," like it's always like comicbook.com. Oh, because this person is alive, this person died, this person is killing everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, God damn it, I didn't even watch the episode yet.
You be sitting there like,
you couldn't have given me like till Wednesday or Thursday. You literally have to put it out at noon on Monday.
Big shout out to my homegirl L.A. Major, aka Putty Pie. That's she just reposted the video that everybody's watching right now on Facebook for us. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always in support. Yeah, man. Damn. What else is there? I don't want to go yet because we got like 5 minutes.
All right, let me ask everybody. Were you team Captain or team Iron Man?
I'm more team Captain.
Yeah, I was probably more team Cap too.
Yeah, I was team Cap too because, like, to be honest, like I said, Iron Man is wrong and he's caused all of the problems.
He's a bit of an ass.
Well, no, he's caused all of the problems since day one. Like, it's like, oh, Iron Man, you shouldn't do that. He's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And he's like, but we need to be reeled in. It's like, no, you kind of have to. But I know so many people who are team Iron Man, and I'm like, why are you guys team Iron Man? Well, I'm kind of confused by that.
Team Iron Man is like the drunk uncle in your family. He's lame,
popcorn,
feel ashamed, but you love him the same, and you'd rather have him on your team than anyplace else. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
I think more people are like, oh, he's right with the law. So, and he's also got Black Panther on his side. So, that's kind of why.
I have to go back home to Wakanda and go what?
Yeah.
Go back home there. It's like, oh, I'm rich, I'm everything. Dude, I have a country.
Yeah. That's why I loved reading Civil War, the comic, because everybody made him feel like crap at the end when it was finally over. When the war was finally over, it was like everybody needed to point out to him, Tony, you're an ass, right? You know what I mean? You're an ass, Tony.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, because even Panther, he smacked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man went to the other side.
Yeah.
Even after giving the Iron Spider suit.
The Iron Spider suit and everything else.
Yeah.
So, yo, we got to get ready to get out of here, man. Don, thank you for coming through, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Have a welcome guest. You can come in anytime.
Yes, sir.
I'll definitely come as many times as you want.
Yes, sir.
That sounded so bad.
I know.
That just sounded so bad. Mike about
it's not that kind of podcast.
But I'm just saying, it just like, it just didn't sound right, though.
Hey, if I was on that kind of podcast, it better be a couple of girls sitting next to me. Sorry, not you guys.
But, we got to get out of here. For my man, Sean Williams, who couldn't make it, he had a wedding to go to today.
Popcorn wedding.
For my man, John Costa, for my man, Michael Williams,
yes,
I'm your boy, Jeff Strange. Peace. We are out of here. Y'all stay strong. I'm going to stay strange. Strange in the membrane. Back in 2 weeks.